Yep.
This is how to finish off the McNett skirt. So my suggestion is once you've finished knitting it, make sure each section is labelled like A, B, C, whatever, and then you know how to start and put it together. So you've sewed in all your ends. Then my suggestion is to the sections that need whip stitched is really just, and I'm just going to quickly show you how to whip stitch. You secure your yarn on the wrong side, which I haven't. I just want to show you. So about an inch apart, that's all you're going to do is just whip stitch up the side with your contrasting yarn so it looks like that. Okay, so let's tear that out. Then you're going to pin the sections together, and you have obviously your front, and then with the narrower stripe you have your back. And here you have the one long section, which is section F. Oh sorry, there's two long sections. Section F and section E. So it's like your long scarf. So you're going to attach that section F to your center front, but you're only going to sew it along the inside of where the moss stitch is. Same on the other side, section E, you're just sewing it on the inside. Then on the wrong side, you're going to do the same thing. You're attaching it to the inside here, so you have a bit of a flap that's hanging over the top of it. Okay, then your section, when you've sewed those long sections up to the top, you're going to where you had a purl row on the right side, you're going to turn that over and whip stitch along, sew it down so that you're making yourself a casing to put the elastic in. Then with each section here you have section A, section B, which you've pressed out. You're going to flat sew those along the top here, stitch it down to here, but you're going to leave, as it tells you in the pattern, a split. Now when I'm sewing together the seams, I just sew them flat, and the way I sew them flat, and I'm using a contrasting yarn so that you can see it rather than the same colour. So if I was sewing at the top of the skirt, I'm just leaving this length down, and it's just I like a flat seam rather than a ridge because it sits much flatter, and then it means you're not taking an inch or so out around the skirt. So that's how I'm sewing. Going up is just catching either side, approximately about half an inch apart going up, and then it'll keep it flat. Obviously when you do it you'll not see the stitching because it'll be the same colour, but that's really how I have sewn all the seams together. I'm just going to quickly pull that out. Okay, let's get this bit out. Good. So each section, as it shows you in the diagram, you're going to sew each section together going round, leaving your splits. And then you obviously have the two long sections, section D and section E, which is here going down, and you have got a bit of the section A coming out, which will also take in part of E along here, and then the same going on the other side. So this flap is just hanging loose, but the others are stitched in. So section E is the only one that's hanging loose, and you're sewing it along here, bringing it down there and letting it hang. And then you've obviously got this section here. You've got section A, section C, exactly the same as it shows you on the diagram. Again, you have the overlap. Where there is whip stitching, you have an overlap. It's not sewed flat to the other seam. And then on the fronts, you will obviously have your straps that take in the buckles, and so you will sew those underneath this section. Put your buckle on the shorter ones, sew them underneath, and then I secured just a little stitch here, keeping them in place where I wanted them on the front of the skirt. You can then press it all, press the top, and then weave in your elastic along the top and secure. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can email me, but hopefully you'll enjoy wearing that. It looks fabulous on, and it's very complimentary, so enjoy.